2024 was the last year of BTS being in a rest from group activities, and although most of this time the BTS members were in the military, that did not stop them from pre-recording a lot of content. So these are the 57 songs the BTS members released in 2024 ranked. As I've done in 2022 and 2023, I'm only including the songs released from January 1st to December 31st. So re-released songs like Closer Than This and Whatever You Are will not be included. I already ranked those in the 2023 video. I also won't include instrumentals. As always, I'm giving a disclaimer. This is just my personal opinion based on the music genres I like. And if you don't like the idea of ranking and rating BTS content, it's okay to skip this video. Also, stay to the end of the video for the results of your picks for the best BTS songs of 2024. So these are the names of the tiers I created for my list. At the bottom tier, we have the songs that I would skip. These are just not for me. Above it, we have the okay tier. These are the songs that I believe are made for a genre-focused playlist, so I would not skip them. Above this tier, we have the underrated songs. These are the songs that I consider really good, but that deserved a little more hype. Above this, we have the instant classics. These are the songs every ARMY should know, and they usually took one listen for me to love them. Finally, the highest tier is Bora Heaven. These are the songs that are just perfection. They go directly to my list of best BTS songs ever. I would recommend them to any new fan, and I believe they should go down in music history. So let's start with the first song released in 2024. The original version of Whatever You Are was released in 2023, but the remixes were released in 2024, so we are counting them. Being completely honest, when I read the title Lullaby, I expected something else. I expected a new instrumental, not the slowdown version of a song that already kind of feels like a lullaby. So unfortunately, I would skip this version.
Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4.
This is such a creative idea to release multiple versions of a song. In this remix, we have the original instrumental of Whatever You Are with some guided meditation by Umi. This was actually very relaxing, and I'm surprised that I haven't seen other artists doing this type of remixes. I believe this is the definition of a song perfect for a genre-focused playlist.
Just for now, I'm over pretending.
Friends is the first official BTS release of the year, and it was an amazing surprise because it sounded very different from V's usual style. Layover and his previous songs are more jazzy, while Friends is more upbeat and brighter. Combine this new musical adventure with the beautiful and fun music video, we get, in my opinion, an instant classic. When I watched the music video for the first time and when I listened to specifically the last verse in which Taeyeon goes all crazy with his vocals, at that moment, I knew this would become one of Taeyeon's most popular songs. Next, we have the remixes. Maybe controversially, I'm putting Friends Sped Up in the okay tier. I'm not the type of person who listens to sped up versions of songs, but some songs really do work well when they are faster than normal. So I don't think I would skip this version if it came on shuffle. However, I don't have the same reaction with the slowed down version. This slowed down version of Friends is too slow for me. V's voice is already low and deep, so the slowed down version makes it kind of comical. That is why I would skip this version. Next, we have J-Hope's release of Hope on the Street Volume 1. I know a lot of ARMYs love the original version of On the Street by J-Hope with J. Cole, but personally, I prefer this solo version. I love J-Hope's new verses, and now I can see a little clearer what J-Hope was trying to express with the song. In my opinion, On the Street makes more sense within the context of the album, but I do like both versions. In the 2023 tier list, I rated On the Street as an instant classic, and for this list, I'm also rating this version as an instant classic.
Right now, it's all we got, all we need.
Maybe I'm biased, but if a BTS member is collaborating with a BTS member, the chances of the song being a masterpiece are very high. So I believe I Wonder belongs to the Bora Heaven tier. I just love how funky this and the next song of the album are. I love the stylistic use of autotune,
정해진 답은 그저 없고 열려히 당당하게 문제 꼭 뺏고
and I love that Jungkook was part of the song.
wonder where I go.
I do believe that having only one verse, the pre-chorus, and then the chorus was an interesting choice. It makes me wonder what a longer version of this song with more verses would sound like. But despite being a short song, it's definitely one of my favorites of the year.
Just you want love, don't know how we make it right.
Just like I Wonder, it took one listen for me to consider Lock Unlock one of my favorite J-Hope songs ever. This song reminded me of Daft Punk, which makes sense because Nile Rodgers also played the guitar for Get Lucky, and I just think this genre is perfect for J-Hope.
Take a key. Be all.
I hope we get more songs like I Wonder and Lock Unlock in Hope on the Street Volume 2, because he shines a lot in this style. Lock Unlock belongs in Bora Heaven.
이제 상처를 지을 우리에겐 이건 가벼운 일. I don't know how.
Yoonjin and J-Hope's voices work well together, so I love when they both sing the chorus at the same time.
내가 왜 이러는지.
The chorus is catchy and J-Hope's verse is my absolute favorite. No matter the genre or style of song, he always manages to be the most dynamic rapper he can be. J-Hope's house songs tend to have EDM influences, but honestly, I prefer this calmer side of the house genre. So in my mind, I Don't Know is a BTS instant classic.
I have no what if I had no money.
I feel like since the original version of What If released in 2022 is so iconic and engraved in every ARMY's minds, this dance mix was not as celebrated as the other new songs from the Hope on the Street album. But it's not a bad version, and most importantly, it's not a lazy remix. It has a new verse by a featured artist,
But the truth is I could see those visions in my sky.
the instrumental has some changes that it makes it more danceable, and overall, this new version fits perfectly in this album. For these reasons, I consider What If Dance Mix underrated. I'm usually not the biggest fan of songs with a lot of featured artists that are not BTS, but Gecko and Yoon Mi-rae brought interesting dynamics to the table. I like the chorus, and I know I'm biased, but J-Hope's verse is my favorite, and I love that it opens the song. Sometimes I do wonder if I'm in the mood to listen to a song that in my mind is kind of sentimental and that I also know it has long sections of no BTS members. But then I listen to the catchy chorus and J-Hope's verse and remember that this is a type of song I consider an anthem. So this anthem is an instant classic for me. This alternative version of Whatever You Are is the closest to the original, but it has nature sounds throughout the song. And this is because this version was done in partnership with the United Nations initiative Nature, which raises money for conservation efforts. So I believe this version is perfect for a genre-focused playlist, especially on a playlist for studying, trying to focus, or relax. When I listened to Come Back to Me for the first time, I knew this was about to become one of my favorite songs of the year by any artist, not just BTS. And I want to highlight that this is kind of rare coming from me because this genre of music is not my favorite, but I know a masterpiece when I'm listening to it. And this is a masterpiece. 6 minutes and 29 seconds feel like nothing when I'm listening to this song.
I forgot the hour. I don't wanna know about the hour.
It's not just the storytelling, which is amazing. It's the range of emotions what makes this song addicting. I never skip this song. I listen to Come Back to Me when I'm happy and when I'm sad. I listen to Come Back to Me knowing that it will make me speechless and at the same time make me want to sing the full lyrics every single time. And I feel the same way about the radio edit. What I love about the shorter radio edit of Come Back to Me is the iconic blending of verses at the end of the song. That part doesn't exist in the full version, but it also sounds so beautiful. Sometimes I wish there was an even larger version with this section as well, which would be crazy because it would be like 8 minutes, but I wouldn't complain. Both versions belong on the Bora Heaven tier. I'm not the biggest fan of EDM or DJ music, but I've heard some EDM remixes that just ruin the original song. And in this case, I don't believe this remix ruined the song. I would even say it's a good EDM remix. It's well done, it's not off-putting, and the new chorus is very catchy. I would include it in a genre-focused playlist. Now let's really talk about RM's album Right Place, Wrong Person, starting with the intro Right People, Wrong Place. I feel like some people listen to abstract intros or outros and feel intimidated by how different the structure is, but I love this intro type of song. I don't care if there is little lyrics and no chorus. Listen to the instrumental and experience the song. Immerse yourself into the album. Right People, Wrong Place is a song that I love and I think it deserves a lot more hype. It's one of the most interesting, layered, and creative intros I've heard. And I love the combination of echoes, vocal loops, and a hypnotizing instrumental.
Baggy, oh baby, please, for I will wish you a true happiness. Time.
The bass that opens the song. The iconic lines from the first verse.
Yeah, pro rider, rider.
The catchy chorus.
I could make this right place for you.
The electric guitar that comes after.
Now baby,
The abrupt change into a darker and more aggressive sentiment. Every section of this song tells a story that I consider belongs to Bora Heaven. You either get it or you don't. But to me, this song is perfection.
I'm just a pack of a cigarette. I'ma burn down the love and the hate.
I love the way in which many songs of this album, and this song specifically, are able to blend different music genres while still following a cohesive story. And I love how this song specifically captures that effort. Out of Love starts with a calm instrumental, but the lyrics and emotions feel like they belong on a hardcore rock song. This song is somehow both soft and angry, and it all makes sense. This is the type of experimental music I love. Out of Love is an instant classic for me.
See, I'm knocked down with a bullshit. Get the fuck down, motherfucker, with a doing shit. No more goofing around, I won't cool shit.
You either get it or you don't. I don't understand how anyone can think of Tomodachi as anything less than a masterpiece, but humans do have different music tastes, I guess. Again, I've noticed that this album creates very different reactions to different people, because it's more experimental and it's not just one genre that people can either like or dislike. But this is my list and I do consider Tomodachi to be perfect. The way the song builds from a quiet instrumental at the beginning. The angry verses with an electric guitar.
All suckers wanna get it, take a sip, cause Johnny Boy I'm out of shit. All the suckers wanna hit it.
The hypnotizing, out of the norm chorus. The change of beat when Little Sims starts her part.
Free soul, better come with
Look,
it.
step in the place and they yell, go figure.
To the repetition of the chorus again and again until there's nothing left. To me, this is an instant Bora Heaven.
It would have been better if I didn't know you.
Question Mark Interlude is very jazzy and kind of messy, and I like it a lot for that. This song creates a transition in the album, and I believe that is why it can make the audience feel out of place for a second. But it is a very cool song that I wish people didn't just consider an interlude track. I believe this song is underrated.
Yo, 세상에 재수 없는 세기가 많아. 어쩌라고 뭐 가던 길이나 가라.
Compared to the more experimental songs of the album, Growing feels more familiar to the other RM songs from his past discography, as well as BTS's. So the comfortable and familiar sound with RM's dynamic rap style and his use of iconic, memorable lyrics
Get your ass out of truck. You walk like a dog. Get your ass out of truck.
makes this song go to Bora Heaven.
My heart 'cause you ain't excited.
Maybe this is where a lot of armies will disagree with me, because out of all the slower songs, this one is one of the most streamed ones, second only to Come Back to Me. I do love this song, but I prefer the more surprising, shocking, and out of the ordinary songs. This is not exactly acoustic, which is my least favorite style, but it's still very calm to my taste. Still, I can appreciate how amazing this song is. I love the lyricism, and I like that this is not just a simple song with good lyrics. No, there are layers and interesting production and singing choices. For those reasons, I believe Heaven is an instant classic.
Hold up, damn now, thank you, don't worry.
I believe Lost was the perfect choice for the title track of the album. It's dynamic, risky, and experimental, while also having a more common, familiar song structure. Lost has a catchy chorus,
Never been a club before I hit the club.
a fun instrumental,
Dump it underground, pick it up, throw it in the trunk. Dump it underground, pick it up, throw it in the trunk.
and a relatable message. And I'm not talking about music videos, but the music video is one of my favorites ever. In my opinion, Lost is an instant classic.
If it's right, if it's wrong, then I'll tell you. Only time will sort it out.
When it comes to alternative rock, R&B, and ballads, I prefer the big songs with a lot of emotion and surprises rather than the simple ones. For that reason, Around the World in a Day is one of my favorite songs of the album. It starts small with just a simple guitar and soft vocals,
Look around.
then it becomes more and more unique with some kind of voice effect,
If it's about to shine, only time will sort it out.
then it builds and builds until everything just explodes.
Look around, jump around like I live that road. Motherfuckers in the crowd, let my whip that through.
That is just the first half of the song. Around the World in a Day keeps building and building. There are emotion after emotion, and I totally love this style of song. Around the World in a Day is, to my surprise, the song with less streams of the album, but I don't care. I do believe it belongs to Bora Heaven.
When the credits roll, do you hang tight?
Credit roll serves as some kind of outro for the album, and it has a very simple instrumental because the focus is the question being asked in the lyrics. The album is about to end. Will you remember and reflect about what RM just said, or will you just go off to life?
Do you stay inside or go to life?
Whatever your answer is, RM is thankful for your time.
I'm so grateful for everyone's time.
Such a simple and short song, but it made the entire project more impactful. I consider Credit Roll extremely underrated.
The dark you were, the light that led me to you.
Never Let Go is the only Jungkook song released in 2024, and it was very special because he released it for Festa. This song is pure EDM pop, which is not the regular genre for a Festa song. So I feel like a lot of armies were surprised and expecting something different. However, if you put it next to songs like Please Don't Change, it's not that big of a surprise. It's not uncommon for Jungkook to release this genre, and most importantly, this is not a bad song. I believe Never Let Go is underrated. Now we enter Jimin's Muse era.
I love you, baby.
Esmeralda Garden Marching Band is the pre-release song of Jimin's second solo album, Muse. And I feel like this song had a similar effect on listeners as Never Let Go. Some people were expecting Jimin's glamorous and ethereal pop, but this song is more sweet and fun. But again, forget about the context and your personal expectations. This is a great song. Maybe controversially, I would say this is one of the best songs part of Jimin's discography. Yes, it's different compared to what he usually does, but it's good. Jimin feels comfortable and relaxed while singing the song. The rap feels natural. The instrumental is fun. And the overall song is catchy. For me, Esmeralda Garden Marching Band is an instant classic. Rebirth intro opens the album, and when I listened to this song for the first time, I knew this was going to be an interesting album. When it comes to pop ballads, I love this type of big songs with big vocals and a choir and a lot of instruments and very heartfelt lyrics. Although it's just the intro, I do believe this is one of the best songs of the album. In my opinion, it belongs to Bora Heaven. This track is mostly an instrumental because it serves as an interlude for the next song, but it's still fun. I'm not sure if I would play it on my own, not counting the times when I just want to listen to Jimin say "ladies and gentlemen" in a different voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's show.
So I guess I would listen to this track in a specific playlist. In this case, it would be when I'm listening to the album.
My plans, I'll give it to the tempo over favorite song.
This may be a controversial take, so I'm sorry. This song, in my opinion, is perfect for Jimin. I love this type of medium tempo R&B from him. I think his voice fits perfectly in this style, and sometimes the uniqueness of his voice is what elevates what can be a simple track. This plus the saxophone in the end is just beautiful. With that said, I'm not sure if I love the song as a duet. Both artists have beautiful voices. I'm just not sure if their voices work well together. I like whispery vocals, but I'm just not feeling it in this song. Overall, I like the song and I wouldn't skip it, but I don't think it was an instant classic. Be Mine has Latin pop and Afrobeat influences, so it's over for everyone. This is an instant classic. I can even see this song as a promoted single, and I can even picture a performance and choreography like Filter. Be Mine is seductive and strong and dynamic. Like Filter, it never stops. It's impacting and it keeps repeating in your head. Who belongs to Bora Heaven? There's nothing else to say, but I guess I will. Who is pop perfection? Pop nowadays tries to be different, complicated, and innovative, and I also love that. But the classic type of pop songs from the 90s and early 2000s were iconic for a reason. Sometimes a solid track with strong, clear vocals and a message about looking for love is what resonates with a lot of people. And I love that Jimin was able to do this style without doing the classic sample of an old song. Who feels nostalgic but also new and modern. After the first listen, Who became one of my favorite songs of the year. Now let's talk about the remixes. Shibuya Kei is a Japanese music genre and aesthetic that became popular in the 90s, and I have to say, Who fits perfectly in this genre. It has some kind of house influence, so I think this remix would go perfectly on a house playlist. The funky remix of Who is not unlistenable, but it is kind of boring. When I read the word funky in the title, I expected a stronger funk sound, or at least a louder bass, but unfortunately that did not happen. The last few seconds were interesting and I was expecting more of that. So unfortunately, I would skip this remix. I didn't know what Beautiful Mind meant, but apparently it has something to do with the producer of the song. It's kind of his producer tag and his label apparently, so that's interesting to know. With that said, I would skip this remix. Who is fun, and this remix replaces the fun instrumental with a sound that makes no sense. I feel like there's no direction or vision for this remix, so I wouldn't even be able to include it in a genre focus playlist. If you've noticed by now, I'm an acoustic hater, but I don't hate this acoustic remix. I love that Jimin clearly re-recorded the song in this style, and they didn't just replace the instrumental. I believe this acoustic remix is great, and I will listen to it in a genre-focused playlist. You don't have to tell me, I know I'm biased. I believe the rock remix of Who deserves more hype, for the sole reason that my favorite music genre is rock. I do believe this song works well as a rock song, and I wish Jimin does a song like this for real one day. For now, I will continue listening to this remix. Playlist or no playlist, I will listen to it.
Getting caught up in the moment. Lovers come and go.
There are times when I think the Korean version of a BTS song is better than the English version, and there are times when I think the English version is better than the Korean version. But honestly, I don't see that much of a difference between the English and Korean versions of Be Mine. They are just as good as the other. So I'm putting Be Mine English version right next to the Korean version in the instant classic tier.
Shit is a toxic kitchen mosh pit. You and your people be flossing. They would just boss it, pour the sauces on the face of the beat boss.
What can I say about Megan Thee Stallion's collaboration with RM that every other ARMY hasn't said already? Never Play was such an anticipated song. Megan's verse was great, and we got to see a side of RM that we haven't seen in a while. The song is all about confidence, so of course RM being confident and saying the truth in his lyrics created reactions in a lot of people.
You know that we never play. Yeah, we gon' forever slay. Me and Megan on the way for Asian men be paid away.
And of course, a highlight of the overall song is the chemistry between Megan and RM. Never Play is an instant classic.
그때 마침 잠시 내게 형형 나 좀 데려가요.
Jin made Super Tuna as a joke, but he is Jin and he created a masterpiece without even intending to. Super Tuna is fun, catchy, and it makes me happy every single time. Since the song came out, I haven't skipped it once, and it always makes me want to dance the silly choreography. Super Tuna will go down in the BTS history books, and for that, it's an instant classic. We are now entering Jin's happy era.
It don't matter the place 특별하지 않은 걸 더 특별하게.
The pre-release single I'll Be There is the song that represents the title of the album the best. I'll Be There is uplifting, fun, joyful, and it makes me want to jump and dance. I love this pop rock genre for Jin. His vocals shine the most with a live band, and I just love the way I can picture Jin performing while jumping around in a concert every time I listen to this song. For me, I'll Be There is an instant classic.
Once more, I'll take you there. We'll be
Running Wild feels kind of similar to I'll Be There, but more sentimental. It's also more Brit rock than pop, so it's closer to my personal preference. But what I really love about this song is how warm it feels. The lyrics are not just sweet, they make me kind of reflect.
There's a way that we can fly again.
As someone who prefers order over being spontaneous, Jin telling me that it's okay to miss the last train home does make me worry less. Running Wild is a personal instant classic. Another Level is the type of song I wanted to hear from Jin for years. I knew he would shine in big, sentimental rock songs. His ability to portray strong emotions and his crazy vocals on top of a beautiful electric guitar is what I've been waiting for all this time. After the first listen, I love this song, and it's my favorite of the album. Jin is a rock star, and this song belongs to Bora Heaven. I will not accept any other opinion. Just like Another Level, it took one listen for me to love Falling. This is one of my favorite music genres, and this type of vocals are my favorite from Jin. I love how small the song starts with just some whistles, and then we can hear the drums, and then the guitar and bass getting louder and louder. I I do love Jin's ballads, but ballads are not the only way to showcase his strong and high vocals. This song is proof of that. Falling belongs to Bora Heaven.
하얗게 번져가는 숨 빈틈없이 그려진 내 맘
I won't lie, I heard the acoustic guitar at the beginning and I was a little doubtful, but then the song changed and it became more fast-paced. And then the pre-chorus came and it was very catchy.
More every minute, more every hour 꿈인 듯이
I believe this song works great as a duet, and when Jin and Wendy's voices overlap, it's just perfection.
여전히 눈부신 창가에 everyday 네가 내 맘을 볼 수 있게
And when I thought it couldn't get better, they sing together and it sounds amazing.
내 맘을 새겨 Oh I love you better Oh I love you better Oh I love you better
Heart on the Window is to me an instant classic.
아름다운 기억에 잠겨
I Will Come to You is the emotional ballad of the album, and knowing the circumstances of Jin making this album after finishing his military service, I Will Come to You is extremely touching. I'm not the biggest fan of a minimalist piano instrumental, but when done like this, how can I not love it? I understand why the other more dynamic songs of the album have more streams and they are talked about more, but still, I do believe this song is underrated. Now let's talk about the remixes of the album. This extended version of Running Wild adds a full minute to the original song. And honestly, I don't know why they didn't just release this version as a promoted title track. The added transition before the final chorus makes the song a little more exciting. This version does give the song more of a live concert vibe, so I would consider this extended version an instant classic, just like the original one. I've ranked BTS's discography for the past 3 years now, and something that I always do is rank the band and rock versions of songs high in my tier lists. This is because I love listening to real instruments. However, Jin's entire album has real instruments, and we can listen to them loud and clear. So all this band version does is turning up the volume of the instruments a little higher than they already were. I do like the little guitar section before the last chorus. But that's it. For the first time, I will rank a band version in OK. I would include this remix in a genre-focused playlist.
out all night until we see the sun.
I don't know about this one. I've talked about my personal connection to this song because of its freeing sentiment. But this ballad remix is kind of sad, and I don't want to be running wild anymore. I'm sorry, but this is a skip for me.
I'll take you there. We'll be running wild.
I don't know what it is, but this works. Maybe it's because I've listened to this version during the holidays, but it makes sense. This feels like a holiday song, especially made for the holidays. Maybe it's because of the time and situation, but I do feel like this holiday remix is underrated.
We'll be running wild. We'll be running wild.
I don't hate this Afropop remix of Running Wild. I don't know why, but it does kind of make sense once you listen to it. So I wouldn't skip this version in a genre-focused playlist.
Running wild. We'll be running wild.
I don't know why I thought this UK Garage remix could have worked better, but it's not bad. It was a little simple and I thought there was going to be more, but it's okay for a genre-focused playlist. The last alternative version released by Jin is the Japanese version of Falling featuring Taka. I do feel like this version is different from the Korean version by only Jin, but it's just as exciting. Falling is great as both a solo song and as a duet. Jin singing in Japanese is beautiful, Taka's verses complement the song, and both of their voices together create the perfect duet. Falling featuring Taka belongs next to Falling in the Bora Heaven tier.
Safe from the storms apart.
Winter Ahead is my favorite V song of the year and one of my favorite songs from his entire discography. I never thought I would enjoy listening to this type of music this much, but this song really became an everyday listen for me. V's warm voice sounds perfect next to the jazzy instruments, and this song was beautiful as a duet with Park Hyo-shin. I love that they don't do the typical main artist section, feature artist section, then both together. Instead, they go back and forth with their verses, so when they join their voices together, it's a lot more exciting.
If you look in my eyes,
Winter Ahead goes to Bora Heavens.
then turn, come on me, change of heart.
Winter Ahead already feels kind of like a Christmas song because it has this warm feeling common in Christmas songs. But this silent carol version makes it more obvious with subtle changes in the instrumental. I feel like people overlook this version a little because the original can already fit in a Christmas/winter playlist. So in my opinion, this song is underrated. This version is not just okay, this is great, and I think it deserved more hype.
Be merry and bright.
White Christmas is a song from 1942, so there is a little difference in the recordings, but it's still magical since this was a project years in the making, and V is a big fan of Bing Crosby. I won't lie, this song had to grow on me a little because it's such an old song that honestly I wasn't familiar with, but the more I listened to it, the more I loved it. Although this was not an instant classic for me, I will make an exception because I now truly love this song.
Paradise.
In this alternative version of Winter Ahead, the Korean jazz ensemble Yoon Suk-chol Trio created a new arrangement to the song. There is a stronger presence of a piano, for example. Overall, this is a beautiful new instrumental, but I don't know if I would listen to this version over the original. I think this version is okay for a genre-focused playlist, if for some reason you want to listen to an alternative jazz instrumental. So this is the final tier list. These are the 57 songs released by BTS members in 2024, ranked only by me, based only on my personal opinion. Now let's see the results of your picks for the best songs released in 2024 by each BTS member from a live stream I had some days ago. We're going to do votings for each of these sections until we get to just one. Members that are going to be missing are Jungkook and Suga because Suga didn't release any songs in 2024 and Jungkook did, but there's only one. So I put two of his Festa songs.
Thought you were the light that led me to you. 내 춤을 춰도 비가 내리잖아.
It's now 88%, 12%. So next is Suga. Suga did not release a single song in 2024. So I just chose two of his most popular songs and you can choose.
봐봐 지금 복잡되는 리듬 어쩌면 이또한 또 다른 흐름 정말 좋은 내 왕대 놈 미쳐버린 범광의 flow
I'm going to close the votes. And the result is the Trita.
I vote for Hegel.
I also voted for Heg. I love the Trita.
Yeah.
So I totally understand and I respect that. Let's go with RM section
Forgot
first.
the hour. I don't wanna know about the hour. Take my hand. If it's right, if it's wrong, then I'll tell you. Only time will sort it out.
I forgot to mention, but I try to have the sections with songs that are kind of a similar vibe.
I need you to
vibe.
shut up for a second because I'm thinking the most difficult decision of my life.
I know, guys, it's cruel, but this is fun to me, you know?
No!
Okay, so the winner is Come Back to Me with 42%.
And that's a period!
Okay, the next section.
Thought it'd been better if I didn't know you. When the credits roll, do you hang tight?
So those are the songs that are intros, interludes, outros. Which one is your favorite?
No! You're so good in your selection of torture.
Thank you. This is harder.
She's a major! Come on!
Okay, so credit roll gets further in the competition. Okay, so let's do now the hip hop songs, the rap songs.
No!
Yes.
No!
That we never play, yeah, we gon' forever slay. Me and Megan on the way for Asian men be paid away.
Get your ass out of trunk, get your ass out of trunk.
get your ass out of trunk. Your face sound like fuck it.
I've been slipping through a kind of bullshit. EJ Johnson, I chose shit.
No, I mean, we're ending the live stream. We're ending the live stream. You cannot listen to me.
Okay, so the winner was Growing.
Understandable.
Now the last section.
Get lost. Take for the low life.
I'm just a pack of a cigarette. I'ma burn down the love and the hate. Yeah, pro rider, rider. Must be anyone gotta always on the fucking cop.
I predicted this result and I knew it.
Yeah, I think I know it too.
Nats goes to the next round. So now we choose between Come Back to Me
No!
and Growing.
I forgot the hour. I don't wanna know about the hour.
Get your ass out of trunk. Get your ass out of trunk. Get your ass out of trunk. Your face sound like fuck it.
It's 50-50, 50%.
Oh my god, you cannot go 50-50. Okay, 51%.
To 49.
Everyone who's saying let's go 50-50 is banned. I'm kidding. It's over, guys.
No!
I ended it. Come Back to Me goes to the next round. Next we have Credit Roll versus Nuts.
When the credits roll, do you hang tight? Yeah, pro rider, rider.
There's a very clear winner here. Nuts is the winner and I'm closing the poll.
And now that's it. We're not gonna put.
No,
we're
you
not.
see
we're
the
not
square
gonna.
here.
We're
No.
not gonna.
There has to be a winner.
No.
There has to be a winner.
I forgot the hour. I don't wanna know about the hour. Yeah, pro rider, rider.
Okay, 54%, 46%.
Suddenly, nobody wants Namjoon's nuts.
And the winner of the RM Song of the Year is Come Back to Me. It's-
Amazing.
Do a recount? No. Now let's go to Jin.
너무 그리워
It's difficult, but it's fun because it's difficult. Happy a No Skip album.
I was about to say.
Yes,
I was about to read the
literally.
same comment.
No skips at
No
all.
skip. Like it's amazing.
The social distance performance was funny. Yes. So I'm just going to end the poll. And the winner is Heart on the Window.
There's a way that we can fly again. We'll keep on fighting. 끝도 없이 몰아.
I'm under your bed tonight. Excuse me. Okay, it's over, guys. And the winner is Another Level. Let's go to the next one.
오랜 밤이 이어지고 있어. I wanna make you mine. 후회가 됐다 이게.
So, Korean or Japanese version? Oh my god, guys. You have to choose one. This is called Resistance. You cannot do 50-50. We cannot do 50-50. We have to choose one.
No, you need to end it.
This is democracy. Guys, how can I...
The rebellion.
Do I do like half and half of the
If you
picture?
do it for now, you're gonna do it for all of the songs.
Everyone is rioting in the comments. There is a winner that I'm seeing right now. The winner is the Korean version, guys.
Someone said, I can't believe it's falling over falling.
So let's
So
go
that's
to
it.
the next round.
팔떡팔떡 뛰는 가슴 내 물고기는 어디 갔나 No matter the place 특별하지 않은 걸 더 특별하게
I feel like it's unfair because we cannot just compare these two songs, but we cannot exclude Super Tuna. That would be also unfair. Oh, the fishes.
They're so cute. Now that's it. We're done. We reviewed all the songs. Next.
No, we have to
No.
go to the next round. I'm ending the poll now, and the
What
winner.
next round?
I'm sorry, every single tuna that is in the comments. The winner is I'll Be There. Justice for Judge.
Someone said, I'm a vegetarian, but two, Super Tuna is a masterpiece.
Okay, so now it's Heart on the Window versus Falling.
내 맘을 새겨 Oh I love you better Oh I love you better Oh I love you better
There's a clear winner, so I'm just going to call it. Heart on the Window goes to the next round. Next, we have Another Level versus
No.
I'll Be There. Okay, so there's a clear winner, so I'm just going to end the poll, and the one who goes to the next round is Another Level. Honestly, I knew it was going to happen. Okay, the last two songs are Heart on the Window and Another Level. The winner...
No, I refuse. You guys get it together.
Heart on the Window.
I don't understand why everyone is disagreeing on the comments when literally it was you that voted, guys.
Recount? What do you mean?
I want to see the ones who voted.
Everyone is saying recount. Where is the people who voted for Heart on the Window?
Come to the front.
Come to the front and celebrate.
This is grandma behavior. I'm here, me. I voted here, yes.
There's a lot of people.
So it's not rigged.
That is it. So let's go to the next, J-Hope. Let's start with some songs that we are already familiar with, but that J-Hope released remixes or alternative versions.
영혼을 마주하며 doing better for us 짙은 게 we try to smile have no vision. But the truth is I can see those visions in my sky.
The gap keeps getting bigger, so I'm just going to end the poll because there's a clear winner, and that is On the Street solo version. Next round.
다시 나를 위한 time 내 신경을 곤두세워 그때 나처럼 다 이겨진 답은 그저 없고 열렬히 당당하게 묻질 고백해.
Okay, so there's a clear winner here, and the winner is I Wonder. So let's go to the next round. There's a clear winner here, so I'm just going to end the poll. So this next round is going to be 3 songs.
온 세상의 거리 너와의 거리 향기 거리 더미 가득한 거리 주는 우리 거리. Right now, that's all we got. Just you one life, don't know how we make it right.
All the emojis. There is a winner here, and that is I Wonder. Honestly, these 3 picks, like On the Street solo version, I Wonder, and Lock on Lock, those are like my favorites.
Yeah.
Okay, so which one is the Jimin song of the year?
Oh my goodness, it's so close.
You
50,
cannot
50.
do 50-50. And the winner is a Slow Dance.
I love slow dance, but
No, honestly, I'm a little bit offended by all of you.
I know, me too. I'm
Listen,
so offended.
when Rebirth is probably my favorite song next to this other song that I'm not going to mention yet. So let's go to the next section. Be Mine Korean version or Be Mine English version. The winner is very, very obvious. It's the Korean version, so I'm ending the poll, and the song that goes next is Be Mine. Okay, so we all love Who.
Who is one of the best songs released in the year in the music industry?
Esmeralda Garden Marching Band is
Did I say
just,
Queen?
it's just such a good song as well.
No,
Listen
yeah,
to it.
it's great. It's just that you put them together.
It's because it's the singles, so I had to put them against each other. Like it's
Okay, I understand.
Okay, so now Interlude Showtime versus Angel Anniversary Edition.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's show.
People like me break.
There's a clear winner, and honestly, I totally get it. It's very, very obvious, so Interlude Showtime goes to the next round. So now we choose between a Slow Dance and Who.
Every song in these moments where we belong. We never met, but she's all I see and I.
Very, very obvious who goes to the next round. And next is Be Mine versus Interlude Showtime.
Yeah, yeah. 뜨겁게 뜨겁게 녹여줘 뜨겁게 빨리.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Welcome to today's show.
Very, very easy. Okay, so Be Mine is definitely the winner. Now it's time. Who versus Be Mine? There's a clear
winner.
Yeah, and the winner is Who. Finally, we have Taeyeon. First section is Friends versus Wherever You Are, which was released in 2023, but that was the regular version. This is a remix with an artist called Nature. Okay, so the winner is obviously Friends. So let's put Friends here. And next we have the winter songs, Winter Ahead versus White Christmas.
Safe from the storms of pie of a white Christmas.
Someone said I'm a Grinch. I don't like Christmas music. I personally love Christmas and I love Christmas music. Yeah, so there's a clear winner. And what I was going to say is that although I love Christmas music and I love White Christmas,
Me too.
I still prefer Winter Ahead. Okay, so let's go to the final voting.
No.
It's Friends
Oh my god.
versus Winter Ahead.
If you look in my eyes,
I'm a Winter Ahead girly. I'm sorry, you guys, because I love jazz music. I just can't.
So the winner is Friends, and as I close the poll, I'm going to give you my opinion. I didn't like jazz and now I like jazz because I listened to Winter Ahead. That's the impact. Okay, so RM's song is Come Back to Me. Jin's song is Heart on the Window. J-Hope's song is I Wonder. Jimin's song is Who. And V's song is Friends. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to leave your 5 favorite 2024 BTS songs in the comments.